Okay, so here's our little garden, our vegetable garden area. We've got a couple of grapevines here, and we want to put a trellis between them for the grapes to grow on. And as you can see, it's kind of a bit of an irregular shape. We've got a couple other vegetables growing already. Some rosemary, and that's a pepper. And then two nice grapes. Thompson seedless is what we're growing because that's what Home Depot had. Now here's the prefab trellis I got to put under it. They're about 6 feet tall, and they came just like this. No additional work necessary. What I did do though is I added this piece on the bottom, this board on the bottom here, this piece. I added that mainly because I don't want the actual trellis sitting in the dirt. So I've added that almost as a sacrificial piece. It is redwood, but I expect it to rot. I'm also going to set it on some bricks we have, just to try to keep it out of the dirt, but I fully expect that piece to rot. Now to go between the two, I've made two of those. To go between the two, over the top, I've got one more trellis here. It did look like this. It was a whole piece. I cut it off where I want it to go between the two. Then you can see these pieces here. If I can find my finger, the shadow is awful. Let's see if I can get out of it. These pieces here have a nice little channel in it that the trellis goes into, which makes it a much better quality. And so I'm going to salvage this piece here out of the one I cut. I'll put it in the new one. It's just screwed in. It's got 2 screws. I'll screw it back in and make a panel to go over the top. Okay, well, the sun has set. It's a little dark, but I have got my trellis done and in place. So here's the grapes, the grapevine. I did take the stake out, tied it to the trellis, and as we go up, you can see how I put it together. This up here, this is a second trellis that I cut to fit, and I put these stringers across the top, mainly for the support, because I didn't think just the trellis sitting on the trellis would be adequate. So those are screwed every once in a while into the edge of the trellis, and then I've got 2 into the vertical piece and several in the horizontal. There's a lot there just because I was trying to pull it a little straighter. And then down at the bottom, let's take a look. Here's that piece you can see, but I also had a bunch of extra bricks, and so I put some bricks into the dirt as a little bit of a foundation to try to, again, to try to keep the wood as much out of the dirt as possible. And then the last thing I'll do another time is put a couple of braces in here. I don't know how much they're actually needed as braces, but I'd like to make this a little bigger. I'll use a bigger piece. I've got a little bit of scrap left. Make it a little taller about here. Put in a kind of a triangular brace. I don't know how functional it will be, but it's as much decorative as functional. Although it could use a little bit to keep rocking. It does rock a little bit there. I did my best to level that foundation. It's pretty level front to back, and the 2 sides are close enough, at least as measured from on top of the trellis. It's not perfectly level, but it doesn't need to be. I just wanted it to be pretty close. And so there we go. That's our new garden trellis. Let's back up and look at it from this side. And if I wanted, I could even put a little bit of one more piece in the back to kind of screen the neighbors. But I don't think I'm going to bother. We're we're on friendly terms with the neighbors, and it's not that big a deal. But my son is playing with the lights. Turn the lights back on, Aaron. There we go, thank you. And there's the finished trellis with the grapes tied to it. I expect them to eventually grow up and hopefully over the top. And we'll maybe get some grapes hanging down here to make them a little easier to harvest when they grow. Maybe a few poking through on the inside. And I'm kind of tempted to run a wire across from one to the other to give the vine another place to grow, but my wife doesn't like that idea, so it probably won't happen. And then we've still got room out here for a few more some vegetables over here. I'll add a couple here. I need to harvest some rosemary. That's growing pretty good. The jalapeno is just getting started, but it seems to be happy with its spot. And we got room for a couple more over here. And room for some things over here. We'll have to figure out what we want to grow. Alright, thanks for watching.